Hey, Dan Passarelli here. Well, it was a total risk-on day today with the S&P 500 closing up pretty darn close to 1.5%. And hey, wait a minute. Quiet. Do you hear that? Do you hear that sound? Do you know what that sound is? That's the sound of money being printed. Yeah, that's what that sound is. It's the sound of money being printed because with the bailouts for account holders and depositors into banks, not necessarily a bailout of the banks themselves. Let's be accurate here. The government is guaranteeing those deposits, and there's more money on the hook. There's more money going out the door of the U.S. government, well, and the Swiss government, as a matter of fact, than there was 3 days ago, right? And what that is inflationary. Now, there's been, and this is not a statement of whether the government should or should not do this, but let's make sure that we understand what's going on with the economy, right? Now, that said, before the government was guaranteeing deposits in these banks, unsecured deposits in these banks, there was a discussion, and there's been a lot of discussion among some thought leaders of what should the Fed be doing. Well, what that all culminates to, if we look at what the Fed funds rate tells us about inflation, there's an 81.9% chance of the Fed raising interest rates 25 basis points. Okay. And an 18.1% chance of them leaving them unchanged. Now, this is what investors who are putting their money where their mouth is, whether they're hedgers or speculators in the Fed funds rate at the CME group, that's what that math ends up being. And nobody's betting on it being 50 basis point hike. But the thing is if that's what people were speculating already when this inflationary pressure of the government paying out more money into the general public, in this case it ends up being deposit holders at banks like Silvergate and the other ones, we're kind of fighting ourselves just a little bit, right? As far as if we lump in the Fed with the U.S. government, which is a debatable issue there. We have one thing going on that's inflationary and one thing going on to fight inflation. And what I think that means is that next time we get a CPI and PPI number or a PCE number, the 25 basis point hike might not even be enough. We know that raising interest rates zero or not raising them at all is not enough because this is a countermeasure to that. Will 25 basis points be enough? And that might not be either. So there's a good chance that we're in this for the longer haul here. And, we're going to keep an eye on that. So for me, I'm definitely not looking at this as, we raised 25 basis points and we're done, because we're going to have to wait and see what the next inflation numbers end up being. And I wouldn't be surprised if they come in hot and the Fed has to keep raising rates. So keep an eye on that. I'm still in the hedging camp. Right now, I'm probably I'm under 50% hedged right now. I took some of the hedges off, which basically financed the hedges that I have on. But if the market makes a run significantly higher, and you can see the S&P 500 chart that I've got up here, if we get up above 400, above the 50-day moving average, we might have a little bit of follow through. We hit about 405, and I'm looking to buy some more puts to hedge my long-term portfolio. I hope that helps. This is Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart.